Hello, thank you for joining me here at Leaping Lotus Tarot. I'm doing a Gemini reading for you today. We're a little behind on Gemini readings, so I'm going ahead and doing one of those for you guys today. And then next I will be doing a Sagittarius reading, so stay tuned for that. I am using the Apokalypsis Tarot. I haven't used this one in a while, so I'm pretty excited to use it. I also have an angel, I think it's like Angel Guides Oracle. Let's just get started. Let's see here. Take a deep breath for me if you would. Set the intention. Let's see what we come through with. So, we have the Six of Cups in reverse. And we also have Judgment in reverse. So, let's look at the imagery on these cards first. Six of Cups is usually like a nostalgia card, looking into the past, remembering positive things of the past, and it's in reverse. I'm going to have Judgment in reverse. So it's like there's something of the past that maybe somebody has put behind them. They thought that there was going to be some big moment of like decision or some sort of like, you know, if you think of like Judgment Day, you think of like, you know, coming to some pinnacle moment of like decision or some sort of come to Jesus moment, if you will, right? But it's like it didn't happen, or somebody's like, let me just get some clarification. Why is the Six of Cups in reverse? Let's see here. We also have the Hermit in reverse, Virgo energy. And then we also have King of Wands, fire sign here. So what this could mean is that somebody felt that it could be in regards to a romantic relationship. There could have been a King of Wands that they felt like they were going to have some sort of big moment. I wouldn't be surprised if like the Tower in reverse came out. Or like Death in reverse, right? There was some sort of moment. There was something that they thought was maybe going to happen. Maybe with a masculine energy. And it didn't end up coming to fruition. It's like somebody ended up coming out of their shell with something. Like maybe they said something. Why is the Hermit in reverse? The Hermit is in reverse because of Six of Swords. Somebody moved away from some sort of decision. So if maybe somebody didn't actually say something, maybe they were going to say something and they didn't. They moved away from a decision to say something. They came out of their shell for some sort of truth. Tell me about Judgment. What is this truth? What is this truth that they finally... Sorry, like 5 fell out, so I'm just going to take 1. 3 of Pentacles. Somebody may have been split or torn about maybe like a connection. Maybe they felt like... Here we've got a little boy carving out of stone, and the stone is falling down, and there's a little like almost looks like it's like a lotus looking plant, but I don't think that's how a lotus grows. Maybe it is, I don't know, or a lily maybe, I'm not sure. But there's some sort of collaborative energy here. Somebody's like putting the work in for something, and like the crumbs of something are growing. I still need more clarification. Tell me more about Judgment and like what this collaboration is, what was growing. Oh, that just flew on the ground. Hold on. Princess of Wands. So that could be a counterpart here. This could be that feminine energy as like a match to the King of Wands. She may have felt lesser than him in some way, because this is not a queen energy, right? This is a princess. So there's something about like, maybe she didn't feel like they were evenly matched, or they weren't a good match. But it's weird because she thought that something was going to happen, that like something wasn't going to work out because there was an uneven match here. But that's not what seemed to happen. Okay, so let me just throw these back into the deck here, and let me get some clarification for like what happened here. What actually happened here? Okay. 3 of Cups. Huh. So somebody got like emotionally right with themselves. Instead of focusing on some sort of like work collaboration, or more of like an earth energy collaboration, or like the logic or the justification of something having to work out in more of a logical sense. They decided to like look at that from the perspective of love. They looked at it the perspective of emotion, and they decided that collaboration could happen from a higher place, some sort of more, yeah, just a higher place, a bigger picture sort of outlook on this connection. Was this a third party connection? I mean, with these threes out, I feel like we have to ask. And by third party, I mean, like, was there another masculine energy involved or something like that? And we have 9 of Wands. We have a feminine energy here, very, very empowered, and there's another feminine energy kind of pulling at her skirt, looking up at her, like kind of looking for her attention or something. The 9 of Wands is a wounded warrior card. Can speak to like a tired sort of energy, but I mean, she doesn't look tired at all. She looks very strong and powerful amidst, the fire burning behind her. So she's, I almost feel called to ask about that feminine at her feet. Why is there somebody pulling at her dress here? Why is there somebody hanging on to her? The Devil in reverse. This is Capricorn energy, Earth energy. It could speak to toxicity or addiction. But why are they hanging on to her? I feel like there's just something more about a third party situation that we gotta tell me about, like this other, there's an underlying facet to the story that I am missing here. He's dropped a ton of cards on the ground. Prince of Cups and the Empress. Wow. Okay. So this feminine energy, this perhaps Princess of Wands, wasn't feeling empowered or not like a match for this King of Wands. And the third party situation potentially could have been a Prince of Cups. It could have been an alternative masculine energy here. She may have felt more in line or compatible with a Prince of Cups because she was coming forward as a princess, right? So she sees herself as more on an equal playing field of a prince, and she's a princess versus a king. But what's interesting is that we have the Empress. So she actually is like Empress energy. She's like even above a queen. She's like super empowered. Ooh, actually, we've got another card here I just saw. Queen of Wands. It's sitting right on top here. I don't know how I didn't see that. Oh my gosh, we have Princess of Cups too. I have 5 cards that fell on the ground. And this was part of the stack that kind of tipped over too. So, okay, what this is basically saying is she's an equal match for, honestly, both of them. For both masculines involved. Prince, princess, queen, king, empress, whatever. She had the perception of herself that she wasn't worthy in some way, but she totally stinking is. And she's honestly a good match for either one of them. So let me go ahead and grab these cards off the ground and we will see what further messages we get from those. Okay. We have, so this is the Devil in reverse. That must have just fallen on the floor. We already talked about that. The Lovers, Ace of Wands in reverse, 10 of Swords, and 6 of Pentacles. So we got another 6. The Lovers. Yeah, I just do think that there's romantic potential with either one of these partners. Ace of Wands in reverse, but there's some sort of fear around a new fiery beginning. There is something about like that hang up around that King of Wands, and so we're probably just gonna have to dive into that. 10 of Swords. Some sort of fear around a betrayal. Yeah, somebody's, I think, scared of getting hurt in this. 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, they want that equal give and take. They don't want to put effort into something that they aren't going to get back. So I would like to ask, like, what this fear is. So if this is what she felt about maybe not being worthy, maybe it's not a worthiness thing. Maybe it's just like a, back to what I said about not being a good match, not having that good equal give and take. So why does she have that 10 of Swords in her energy? Why does she feel like there's some sort of not good match with this situation that maybe caused her to move away from a decision like we talked about in the beginning, or choosing somebody else? 8 of Swords in reverse. This could be saying that she did choose somebody, because the 8 of Swords upright is like restriction and not being able to move forward towards something, and it's in reverse. So did she move towards this King of Wands or not? I'm very kind of confused about what she actually decided to do. Okay, we have the 6 of Pentacles again, and then we also have the Lovers again. So, yeah, I mean, I think she did end up choosing that masculine, but maybe was really unsure if she was going to. The Ace of Wands flipped out in reverse in the deck again, but now we have the Queen of Swords. So this is a different energy that this Queen is embodying. So I feel like that's a very significant message here that we need to ask about. Let me shuffle this through several times since we've gotten some repeat cards. I really want to make sure that as I'm shuffling, we're getting a fresh energy here and clarification for the cards that have already come through. So why is she coming through as a Queen of Swords now? She's coming through as like so much here. It's like she's back and forth around her worth or what she thinks of herself. It's like Princess, Queen, Empress, you know, now it's Queen of Swords. And so now I need to see. All right, we have 7 of Wands and 5 of Cups. Oh, goodness. Okay, this reminds me of that feminine energy that we had pulling at the cloak of the other feminine earlier. If you look at the imagery of this 5 of Cups, she looks like she's begging, like she's on her knees, like, please, like, give me, give to me. She's got her hands open. And then if you look at the 7 of Wands, this conflict card, there's like this masculine energy that's got like the power here of this staff in his hand, and these guys below him are kind of like, you know, yielding to his power or like trying to battle him or just they're looking up to him. And so that reminds me, so somebody is putting somebody on a pedestal. What is going on with that? Who is this person? Okay, I didn't really shuffle, but it flipped through over Prince of Wands. So there's a Prince of Wands being put on a pedestal as a King of Wands, who's not really a King of Wands, he's a prince. And I think this Queen of Swords, I do need to get some clarification for why Queen of Swords specifically, because that's an air sign and that's like clarity and decision and decisiveness. And so I feel like I just need clarity on like why she feels so clear on this now when the perception of who he is not really who he is. King of Swords in reverse. Whoa. Okay, he's maybe not a match for her on an intellectual level. Maybe he's passionate, like fire would indicate, but he's not as intellectual. So maybe he's more empowered than her in his passions, but not in his intellect. Huh, you know, I haven't pulled from the Oracle message yet, so let me just see if there's any messages here that can kind of give some clarity to this situation. I have thrown so many cards on the ground here. Surrender, wow. So if this feminine is with this masculine, or if she's not, or if she's back and forth with it, the message here is kind of like, okay, just, you know, there's obviously a message to be learned from this situation for this person, so surrender to the process. Yeah, because no matter what, there's spiritual growth that's going to happen, okay? Yeah, there's learning that's going to happen here. That's the truth and the power of the situation. So it doesn't really matter what she thinks of who this person is or who this other person is, whatever third-party situation. It's kind of like, you're here to learn. You're here to learn. And she's learning that her perception maybe isn't entirely right. She's here to learn some sort of lesson with it. Let me just see, can we get a little glimpse into what lesson this might be? Joy and contentment. Yeah, it's like being empowered in your decision. That whatever decision you do make, no matter like what back and forth, like it's gonna be the right decision because you're learning from it, right? So it's having joy and contentment with whatever decision you make, with whatever person you choose. Any final messages from the tarot? 5 of Pentacles, that's kind of weird. Oh, and Ace of Pentacles. Okay, first of all, let's just look at how gorgeous this Ace of Pentacles card is. Absolutely love that. That's financial stability, abundance, a new beginning, and satisfaction in the earthly matters. Just being very rooted and grounded in the beauty of life, in the beauty of abundance, and the gift of what the divine can give you on this earth. You know, being the lotus in muddy water, right? And growing and prospering despite whatever situation you're in. And that kind of does allude to this 5 of Pentacles, right? Because the 5 of Pentacles can be a little bit of like a left out in the cold sort of feeling, or left behind. Let me just see real quick. Why does somebody feel left behind when they have so much, when they do have Empress energy and they have so much start over empowerment with the Ace of Pentacles? Queen of Cups. But also the Ace of Swords in reverse. because this feminine is so indecisive, honestly, we have had like the queen and princess of like every suit and type. What I get with this is that she's a very empowered feminine, okay? She's awesome. She embodies a lot of different talents and skill sets, a lot of different qualities. She's intellectual, she's passionate, she's emotional, she's all the things. But what she also is a little indecisive and maybe still has some growing up to do. And I get that because of the whole spiritual growth and surrender thing, right? Like, she's learning the lessons of this still. She's still figuring out who she is. She might be kind of young. She's still figuring out who she is. I feel like maybe there's just one more message from the tarot. One final message to end on. Okay, now we have King of Cups in reverse. This is too funny because we just had the Queen of Cups upright. This is just re-emphasizing that, like, she cannot decide who she wants to be with. The Seven of Cups in reverse, which speaks to options. I do think that she will choose at some point. She will choose among these options. She will choose, but it's just kind of unclear. There's no real clarity around who she's going to choose right now because, like I said, there's been every form of like prince and queen and king, and they're all flipped around in the reverse and then upright, and so there's just a lot of back and forth. I'm surprised we didn't get the Two of Swords out, which speaks to like indecision. That's just kind of her energy right now, and she's just still learning about herself and what she wants. And once she figures that out, I think since she is such a powerful feminine, she will be able to attract the lover, you know, the lover's connection that we had come through in this reading a couple times. That suits her. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Hit like and subscribe if you have not already. Drop in the comments, please. I love hearing from you guys. I respond to every comment, and I hope you stay tuned for the next reading, maybe even the Sagittarius reading, and we will see you next time.